Want to make your own design boards? Have an old design board you need to reskin? Stick around for a few minutes and I'll show you how to do this. Hi everyone, I'm Paula. Do you have a masterpiece in mind that you'd like to create? I hope that any inspiration and guidance I show you today will help you along the way. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button below. Today I'd like to talk to you about a tool that I use often. They are my design boards. They work very similarly to the way the design wall behind me works. Let me show you. So the way I use my design boards is when I want to create a block that I want to kind of lay out ahead of time and make sure that it's just right, I'll grab one of my design boards and I will actually take my pieces and I will lay them out the way I think I want them. There. Now I just kind of give it a little press here, and now I can take this over to my machine. They don't fall off. I love that part. They don't fall off. So I can take this anywhere I want. Today I'm going to show you how to make these, and I'm going to show you how to change out the top of old ones in case they get stained. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk about materials. So what I use is I use foam board that is at least 1/4 of an inch thick. If you want to find a little thicker, that's fine too. I use the 20 inches by 30-inch pieces. The design boards I use are 10 inches by 10 inches, and I know this piece will get me 6 design boards. I also use 505 temporary adhesive. And I also use some flannel here. Now, if you wanted to use batting, you could. Just know that if you use batting and you need to change it out because it gets stained, it gets torn, or gets ripped, or whatever, it might be a little bit more challenging to get that top piece changed out. This is actually really quite simple. I take my 505 to a well ventilated area and I spray the entire top. Once that's done, I take my flannel, which is cut larger than my board, and I'm just going to very lightly set this down on the board. I'm not going to put any pressure on it yet. I'm just lightly picking it up and setting it back down till I have it the way I want it. I'll even take it and stretch it out a little bit here, going both directions. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my hands and I'm going to start smoothing this out. Until I have it the way I like it. And just like that. It's nice and smooth and awesome. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to start cutting away the outside edges of this just with my rotary cutter. I'm going to be very careful not to cut into the foam here. So now our piece is trimmed and glued. So the next thing I'm going to do on the back side of this, not on the side with the flannel, I am going to take my 10-inch squaring tool and I'm going to make some marks with a pencil back here every 10 inches. I'm also going to make a mark right here in the center. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my long ruler here and I'm going to put a couple of pieces of tape on the underside of this ruler that it doesn't move on me. The second thing I'm going to do is change out my rotary cutter for the rotary cutter that I use for anything except fabric. I'm going to go ahead and line up my ruler on these center lines going right down the center here. And I'm going to make a cut as far as my ruler will allow me. I'll pick up the ruler and move it to make the rest of the cut. I'll stick my rotary cutter right back into the cut that I've already made. and finish my cut. Next, I'm going to take my 10-inch ruler and I'm also going to put some tape right in the middle here. And then I'll take some of that sticky out. Okay? We're going to go ahead and set this down and make a cut. And again. We're going to continue to do this until all 6 of our pieces are cut. Now keep in mind, you do not have to cut these into 10-inch squares if you don't want to. If you want to do 2 10-inch squares and 1 20-inch square, by all means do so. You make the decision on which size is going to work for you best. So now with that, I have 6 design boards that I can use for future projects. Now let me show you what you need to do to replace old ones. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, post a comment below, and turn on that notification bell so you won't miss a single step in future videos. Love what you see? Don't forget to join me live on Twitch for interactive tutorials and real-time fun, Monday through Wednesday. You'll find my channel link in the description below. This foam board is really expensive, so I want to make sure that I can reuse the foam board. If I have to replace the top, so be it. What you're going to do is you're just going to take a corner here and you are just going to tear this off. And I'm not going to worry if it tears a little bit of the paper off or not. I can just throw this away. And now I have my board I can reuse. So basically I do the exact same thing. I just take a piece of scrap, my 505 spray, go into a well-ventilated area and spray this down. And then I just take my flannel and I lay this down right on top. Use my hands and start smoothing it out. Once that's done, I'll just turn it over. I use the edge of my board as a guide. Just go very slow and cut away the excess. And there you have it. Brand new board used with the old foam board. I'm ready to go. If you're worried about the flannel falling off before it's time, don't worry. If it does come loose, just peel the whole thing up, spray the board down with 505 again, and just lay your piece back on. You'll be back in business. With these boards, I do not put any kind of a decorative edge around the outside because years down the road from now, if these ever become stained or need to be replaced, I can still salvage the foam board and just switch out the flannel. Just a helpful reuse program tip. And again, when you're using this so that the pieces don't fall off, you can either smooth them on or just take your hands and press them on when you get them in place, and they will stay on. You can stack them easily, and everything stays in place. You can lean them up on something, and it stays in place. I can even use these on my design wall. Let me show you. I simply just take a few pins, put them in place, and there you have it. If I need to switch it around, I can move it easily. All of my piecing. They're also a great size to stick in your retreat bag when you're off for a summer retreat. So there you have it. A great new tool to have in your quilting room. Design boards. Give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see you next time. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Happy quilting. Bye, everyone.